This is Another Man's Nostalgia with John.
You want to say the plot? Mind if I say it?
Okay, I'll do the plot. Alright, okay.
Chris said I haven't done the plot in a while, and you said, okay, I'll do it.
Oh, I thought you said you haven't done the plot in a while.
Chris.
So I also have an I and am in my name, so I made my own. My name.
Is it like a site?
It's I am Zax Topero Jester.
And Justin.
I wish it would wipe my memory.
The episode starts now.
Hello everybody, welcome to Another Man's Nostalgia. We revisit everybody's favorite shows, movies, and games from the mid-90s to the mid-2000s.
That was beautiful.
Thank you. Thank you.
Beautiful.
I practice every day.
It brought tears in my eyes, like how beautiful
it?
that was. Yeah, no.
Thank you.
It's just so much better than someone else that I know.
Thumbs up from Justin.
You think you're making me mad, but I don't give a shit at all.
Alright. How's y'all's week? Did you have a good week?
So, okay, this is what I realized. I realized this today, but I'm getting older, and I'm getting fatter, and I'm losing my hair.
Well, not with your legs. You got some pretty good looking legs that we saw today.
I got some pretty good looking legs. All right, I'm trying to grow out a beard too. So yeah.
You have some grays?
I don't have any grays yet.
Okay. Yeah.
You know what? A gray
spots that you can see.
graying is not that bad. Sometimes graying on dudes looks pretty good.
No, I don't have any gray hairs yet. But okay, so like today, I was doing like some cutting down some trees, and I almost fell out of the tree, and I was just like, man, when I was younger, I don't think I would have almost fallen out of this tree. I would have just bounced back up, and I fell out of a tree, and I was like hanging by like my arm, and I was like, man, I could have, and I had to get someone to like get a ladder and get me down. I was like, I could have just like lifted myself up, just climbed back up when I was younger. And I'm like, no, I feel like I'm getting older, and everything hurts, and I don't like it.
Everything hurts.
Everything hurts.
All right. Oh, good.
Everything hurts.
Okay. Justin, I heard you got some nostalgia news. You want to get some nostalgia news?
Oh,
Yeah.
nostalgia news, cool.
Go for it.
Okay, so this isn't necessarily nostalgia news at the start, but this is kind of funny, something that I found on Twitter last night. So apparently, Chuck E. Cheese is disguising themselves through Google and all of the delivery apps.
Wait,
So
what?
so Chuck E. Cheese sells food, right? That's where a lot of their money comes from, besides the arcades. Well, if you can't go into the Chuck E. Cheese, you can't play arcades. So that's half of their profit gone.
Okay.
Have you ever gotten delivery from Chuck E. Cheese before?
I have not.
Would you ever think of getting delivery from Chuck E. Cheese?
No.
Okay. Well, apparently what they've been doing is changing their name on like Postmates and DoorDash to Pasquelli's Pizza and Wings.
It's so genius. Honestly, it's a very good idea. It's ridiculous.
Skelly's?
Yeah, however you say it. That's a character from Chuck E. Cheese.
It's so genius because, I mean, it's ridiculous, but like, it's just so ridiculous that like, it's true. I wouldn't think about getting takeout from a Chuck E. Cheese, a kid's pizza place.
Yeah.
Nor do I want to, because the last time I went...
Pasquelli's?
Yeah.
Pasquelli's sounds super Italian.
Pasquelli's very Italian. Yeah.
The last time I went, it was maybe 6 or 7 years ago. By myself.
By yourself.
Wait, what?
By yourself, obviously. Yeah.
By yourself.
My favorite Zach Galifianakis joke is when he talks about, I find it hard to get a table for one at Chuck E. Cheese. Anyways, but I was there, for a cousin's birthday party or whatever. I can't remember. I do remember the
Your
shitty
own
food.
birthday party, you mean?
Yeah,
we
21.
were all there.
When I turned 21. That's where I went. You were there, don't you remember?
Yeah, it was great.
My other piece of news is Mandalorian related. Timothy Oliphant is going to play a character called Cobb Vanth,
That's
who
cool.
wears
I don't know
Boba
who that is.
Fett's
Who's Timothy? Someone.
Deadwood. Ever seen Deadwood? It's like Western. Oh, he's a really good actor.
Okay.
He's in, yeah.
But
I trust you.
anyways, But anyways, he's playing Cobb Vanth, who we've already know Boba Fett is going to be in The Mandalorian. Well, this
It's like
guy,
a cameo,
Cobb Vanth,
right?
what?
He's just like a little cameo.
We don't know. We just know he's
Either way, it's a big deal because he's supposed to be dead.
Yeah, well, in like the extended universe, he's not dead,
Right.
and this guy wears his acid broken up armor. So he actually wears Boba Fett's old armor that
cool.
has like acid holes and stuff around it.
Okay.
So it
That's
should be
weird.
interesting.
Yeah, it should be interesting.
All right.
So I have one nostalgia news too.
Okay.
The Last Dance finished, and it was incredible. You know,
I still haven't watched it yet.
Love that
I think it's-
documentary.
Don't
I
tell
think
me
it's
any
coming-
spoilers.
I think it's coming out for Netflix soon.
Okay.
Yeah.
I know it's made by Netflix and ESPN, so
Right.
There are
right.
people saying LeBron should get one. I'm like,
Dude,
LeBron.
well,
LeBron
after
does not have
watching-
the reach.
I heard Michael Jordan's a bully though.
he's pretty mean.
I heard he was a bully.
After watching it though, I don't think there's really much of an argument between LeBron and MJ. Like MJ's clearly better. I mean, I don't remember him watching him because I was so little.
Yeah.
But everybody makes a comparison. I don't see it. It's not really comparable.
He's on another level than LeBron.
Anybody.
LeBron's so like, and there's nothing wrong with LeBron. I like
Yeah.
him, you know, but he's very corporate and very like Jordan is kind of now. He's got this image about him, which is fine, and he's a great role model. But basketball wise, yeah, he may be dominant and someone we've never seen before. But man, MJ was just on a whole another level
It's
of
ridiculous.
craziness.
All right.
And it's weird. Most people our age, they see LeBron as being the best.
I think people.
Or I
forget.
guess a couple years younger than us see LeBron as being the best.
Yeah.
I
think people
see
forget.
nothing wrong with that,
Yeah.
but I mean, ugh.
Just like some people our age see Kobe as being the best, I guess too, or
That's
a
true.
little bit older.
he would be the closest I think to
Yeah.
MJ.
Yeah.
But
Okay.
Okay. Anyway,
Let's get to this
This
week.
is not
So
a
what-
basketball podcast.
Justin, or sorry, Chris, what did
Yeah.
we watch this week?
We watched.
This is like a Justin movie.
Yeah, it's pretty close. I think we watched Dumb and Dumber.
Wine your body, wrinkle your belly, dip and go down in a new style. Wine and go up, wine and go down, bubble and a rocker to the new style around. Are you feel line it too? Are you feel wine it too? I do the boom shakalaka to the dancer pull up party.
Dumb and Dumber.
Oh boy.
Is this gonna be another John is really wrong this time?
He's already shaking his head. Fantastic. Okay. So
Oh my god.
so John, you haven't seen this movie, right?
I've never seen this movie.
Uh-huh.
Thank God, I've never seen this.
I
movie.
wish I could not see this movie and watch it again.
I know. I wish we could watch it through John's
Oh.
eyes.
Thank God.
I
never
think I
saw
said it
this
last.
movie.
I think I said it last week, or maybe it was off air. I don't remember. But I watched this movie every day one summer with a neighbor of mine, and like I think a lot of people have a movie like that they watched constantly, and this was mine. And I have it memorized. But
Wow,
man, it's,
you are one pathetic loser. Get
it's
it?
good. Good put in.
There you go.
Thank you.
All right. And
Wow,
Justin,
I didn't say that. Justin. It was a good call. A good call.
That's good. Justin, same with you, right? You watched a lot?
I didn't watch it every day,
Right.
but man, I can go back to this movie probably every couple weeks and laugh my ass off constantly. God, I love this movie so much.
Okay.
Okay, cool. So let's get into some fun facts because they are incredible. This movie has some really good fun facts.
Did we
to
have
it.
a fun facts theme, Justin?
I think we should.
Dumb and Dumber fun facts. No offense. There you go.
It's probably one of the worst ever. Okay, so
Would you
this-
say it
this-
was
this-
dumb?
Yeah, it's pretty dumb. So this movie was originally written in the '80s by John Hughes, who did
Ooh.
Breakfast Club and
I can see that.
Home Alone, and I can
see
see
it
it too. I don't know. I don't really like his movies other than like Trains, Planes, and Automobiles, but
Breakfast
I can-
Club wasn't that great though.
I don't like it either. But some of his are good.
Ooh,
I'm
No,
glad
no.
we whispered that in.
That's
no one
a-
hurt us.
that
It's a
that
cl-
could be a transgression, guys.
I know. We're the weird ones. But I watched it for the first time like a month ago. I never seen it. It was terrible. Okay, so
This movie or Breakfast Club?
Breakfast Club. This movie is perfect.
Oh.
This movie originally in the 80s when they're pitching it, they wanted Steve Martin or Martin Short to play Lloyd. They didn't really have anybody in mind for Harry, or at least I couldn't find any. I think they both could have done okay at this. It would have been a very different movie, but we say that about every time we mention a Jim Carrey movie.
If Steve Martin did it, he would have did fine.
Yeah, and Martin Short's a good character, zany actor. I think he could have pulled it off. But I think, we say this about every Jim Carrey movie when we talk about the near casting, is that it would have just been a very different movie. And then at one point, and I don't know if this is true, but it said this on the internet, so it must be, Nicolas Cage and Gary Oldman were original choices for Harry and Lloyd.
That could have worked.
I think Gary Oldman as Lloyd might have worked.
Nicolas Cage?
And Nicolas Cage as Harry.
Remember,
maybe.
Nicolas Cage was a comedic actor at this time.
Yeah.
He had some
I
pretty funny
understand
movies.
that, but I guess I can't picture him, not when he was younger, doing it.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Go watch Raising Arizona. He's great.
It's true. You have, and even, like Jeff Daniels is not a comedic actor, and yet he does really good in this. So
He is the star of this movie.
dude, he is my favorite part. But let's get into this, because this is where it gets
Okay.
crazy. Well, hang on. I
John,
want to hear your opinion.
you keep your bad opinion to yourself.
No, I'm not going to, but okay.
Go for it. Do you have something you want to say before we...
Yeah, go ahead, John.
Okay, let me tell you this, okay? I have found people that have felt the same way about this movie than I do.
I want to stay away from them then.
And it's because that
No fun.
it's the whole entire movie is just dumb.
Oh, really, John?
Okay, so here. Just like I'm gonna go off what Chris said last week. I don't know if you listened last week, but Chris
didn't,
mentioned that. Don't shake your head, no. Chris mentioned that he needs someone to kind of go off of like the main character, like a smart person to go off of the dumb person.
Mm-hmm.
And here, I felt the same way, but I never got it. Like I needed someone to be
But Harry's
smart to kind of
smarter.
go off of the dumb one.
I don't know.
and
Harry is.
I never got it. I feel like I never got it.
Harry is easily manipulated.
There's some lines that I feel like was a little too far. Like Lloyd not knowing the word the, like able to read the word the, like stuff like that. I think was a little too far in the dumb department. But man, everything else about this movie is just great. Okay,
All right.
so this is crazy. So before, as we talked about every time we talked about The Mask, we talked about Ace Ventura. This movie came out in 1994. Huge year for him. All three of the movies were number ones. So Ace Ventura came out in February, right, Justin?
Yes.
So he had already signed on for Dumb and Dumber when Ace Ventura released, but they hadn't filmed yet because Dumb and Dumber didn't come out till December. So they had
filmed
and there
it
wasn't
in a year or less than a year.
Yeah, there was no special effects or anything, so they filmed it and anyways, it came out. He was originally signed on to get a salary of $700,000. When Ace Ventura destroyed the box office, it went up to $7 million. Before they even started filming.
$7 million?
Yeah, so he's lucky that
Did he restructure his contract, or did he already sign?
he hadn't signed the contract yet. He signed on for it, but he hadn't officially signed it, and he renegotiated. So
$7 million. Holy
And remember,
crap.
this is early '90s, so
Yeah.
even 700,000 is still a
Right.
good chunk of change. I mean,
Yeah.
it's still
And you-
now. But
So yeah, no. So, and you also have to think about it too, that they were considering this person. I mean, it's good for the movie too, Dumb and Dumber, because they were thinking that they were gonna sign this semi-famous movie star, and then now they're signing this really big time box office name movie star. So
And
I mean,
people
I
forget-
understand the money.
yeah, and people forget it. People forget this, but because it doesn't really exist anymore. But back then, you went and saw movies because of the star.
No,
When Tom
totally.
Cruise,
Oh, totally.
when Tom Cruise was in a movie, or Will Smith, you went and saw it because it was their movie.
Even
and
if
I think
it was terrible.
yeah, exactly. Wild Wild West.
Wild
a good
Wild West
example.
2 is,
even
is
nowadays,
super great, guys.
Even
You
nowadays,
should
people
go
who
see it.
say there's stars like that,
Yeah.
people say Robert Downey Jr. is that way. Well, Dr. Dolittle flopped hard.
Yeah, exactly. It doesn't exist anymore. But people
The
saw
Rock,
that.
The Rock is that way.
The
Yeah,
Rock is the
yeah.
only person I think I will go see a movie because he's in it.
But it's not as big as it used to. It used to be a huge thing, and so I think they saw that he was about to be that, and they went for it. Yeah. Okay.
Alright,
So
real quick, inflation adjustment. So 700,000 back then would be worth 1.2 million now.
Wow.
What would 7 million be worth?
I'm about to do that.
12 million, I guess. Probably about the same. Logic.
12 million.
I'm a genius. Okay.
Okay.
So
plot. What is the plot of this movie?
Hang on. So
Okay.
I got to talk about the other salary. Jeff Daniels' salary. So they wanted to cast a comedian to be the other counterpart.
Yeah.
And Jim Carrey said no, he has to be a straight man actor because Jeff Daniels had never done a comedy before. He's like, I want a straight man actor because he'll help him be grounded and be a little bit more of a realistic character, you know.
What,
and I think
what movie was he in before this?
he was like in that Gettysburg show where he like played a colonel and stuff. That was what he was most famous for at the time.
Okay.
But the Farley brothers did not like Jeff Daniels, and Jeff Daniels' agent did not want him to do it, and he was like, "This is going to be career suicide for you." But only Jim Carrey and only Jeff Daniels were the only two that wanted him to do it. So the Farley brothers didn't want to do it so much. They offered him $50,000 as like it's like a slap in the face, but he took it and didn't even negotiate. So Jim Carrey made $7 million and Jeff Daniels made $50,000.
I'm sure Jeff Daniels made plenty of more money after that because.
Well,
I
that was his
mean-
most. Yeah.
True, but like this is a giant movie. Like
Yeah.
so many people like this movie.
Yeah.
That
it had
sucks, man.
Yeah. I mean, he was fine with it. He said it was his most profitable movie of all time, and he loved doing it. And they came back for Dumb and Dumber 2, which I do want to talk about a little bit later.
That's not.
So, $17 million budget, and it made $247 million. So, crazy. Cashed in hard. So, all right, let's get into plot.
John?
Oh no. Okay.
Hacking something?
Yeah, I'm trying to figure out points. Okay, so you have these two guys. One is a limo driver, and one is obsessed with dogs. Like he grooms dogs. He's a dog groomer.
Yep.
So, and he has a van that is in the shape of a dog.
The shaggin' wagon.
What is this business called?
Something cuts. Mutts cuts.
Mud's Cuts.
Yeah.
Okay. So anyways, the main character, Jim Carrey's character,
Lloyd Christmas.
Lloyd Christmas.
Great name.
God, so stupid. Lloyd Christmas. He drives this like really rich girl to the airport, and she ends up leaving her briefcase. He goes and picks it up. And tries to give it to her. He can't. They mentioned in the car before that they were gonna go, or she was gonna go to Aspen. So him and his best friend, the one that has the dog groomer, decides to go to
And the beer
Aspen to give her
flows.
the briefcase.
Yeah.
At the same time, you have these two people, a guy and a girl, and they're trying to get this briefcase. You find out later on it's ransom money because they kidnapped that girl's husband.
Yeah.
So they try to get to Aspen. They accidentally killed one of the guys that has the ransom with hot peppers. He has like a heart attack and dies.
No, it's rat poison. They killed him with the rat poison.
They killed him with the rat poison. Yeah.
Was it rat poison?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh,
he had
okay.
an ulcer and it messed his ulcer up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Accidentally killed him.
Yeah.
And then you have they get to Aspen. They figure out that in the briefcase is like $500,000, something like that. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know either.
They spend like half of it.
But they have IOUs, so it's as good as money.
Yeah, so it's okay. What does
One of
the
my favorite
IOU say?
scenes.
It's like this is a car.
240
Might want to hold on. Yeah.
$240,000 IOU.
Yeah. Yeah. It's like you might want to hold on to this one. This is a car.
Anyway, they spend the money. They meet up with the girl. The actual that was in charge of the kidnapping holds him at gunpoint.
Yeah.
The feds come in and arrest them because him and someone was like working together for like a little while,
Yeah.
and that's it. And then
Oh,
you
so
find
good.
out. Yeah, they found out that she had a husband, and
Yeah.
Lloyd is like super pissed off.
Okay. So. I don't know how to go. I don't know how to break this down. It's just too. I guess we need to just. I mean, I guess we'll just talk about we'll talk about favorite scenes.
It's
and
a
stuff later.
story. It's a story of friendship.
Yeah, it's a story of friendship.
It's
Yeah,
a story of friendship.
And lots of farting.
and
it's lots of farting. Okay, so
I do have a little fun fact about that farting scene, the shit scene.
go for it.
Jeff Daniels said I think he was asked about that scene. Oh no, Clint Eastwood asked him about it. He said that's happened to me before because he thought Clint Eastwood was basically going to be pissed off at him.
Yeah.
He said, "Oh no, that's my Oscar moment."
Yeah, that's what he calls it, his Oscar moment.
Okay.
Kind of a funny fact about Jeff Daniels in general is he won an Emmy for that newsroom show. You remember that show? And he had that rant scene where he talks about how America's not the best country in
Yes.
the world.
Yes.
So he won an an Emmy for it. And he said that the night he won the Emmy, they were in the middle of shooting Dumb and Dumber 2. And the next day, he was filming, just winning an Emmy, and the director was like, "More butt crack, Jeff." he was like a really weird feeling. Anyways, so I guess while we're talking about plot, let's talk about favorite parts, funniest parts. What was your deal with
the
this, John?
shit scene was funny.
Yeah.
The cop drinking the pee was funny.
Oh, that was so gross. So much pee.
I don't know. Okay, I don't think that it was like supposed to be like a really famous scene, but I love this scene where Lloyd is in the bathroom and he's reading a message that's on like the stall, and it's about this gay dude that he's gonna meet up with like a guy and like basically rape him.
Yeah.
At 2:15 in the morning, and it ends up being the dude that they like scammed
Seabass.
a couple scenes beforehand. Seabass.
You're
And
right-
I
here's
just
where I
found
come
it.
in.
I found it so funny because he's like trying to claw out of the stall, and then he's like clawing at the wall. I don't know why I found that so funny. but
All
that
right,
was
here's
one
where I
of the
come
funniest
in.
things.
Does anybody know who Seabass is?
He looks familiar, but I don't know who it is.
There's no way you would recognize him.
Okay.
I can bet you. He's a
Go for
hockey
it.
player.
Oh, is he?
Anybody want to guess?
Brett Hall?
No, not
Wayne
Brett
Gre-
Hull.
Wayne Gretzky.
Okay, good lord. No, there's no way I would get. He played for the Canucks and the Bruins. It's Cam Neely.
Oh.
Oh,
Right? Yeah? Everybody know who he
you're
is?
right. You're right. I didn't recognize him.
Everybody know him?
I feel so stupid I didn't recognize him.
You should.
Yeah, no. Oh my god.
He's a hockey Hall of Famer.
Kick his ass, Seabass!
Okay, cool.
Yeah,
Good-
I'm
great
stupid.
shot.
I'm
Little
stupid,
guy.
Justin. I should have recognized him.
So
He did a great job acting, by the way.
He did. Man, this is so many good things in this movie. Like the killing the bird thing. That was fantastic.
Good birdie.
Yeah, pretty little bird.
Pretty birdie.
Gonna give it to the blind kid. Come on, John, laugh. We're having a good time.
Polly want a cracker?
The scene that was completely improvised, and you can tell because Jeff Daniels breaks, is where Jim Carrey is in the car and they're annoying that guy, and he goes,
Hey, want to hear the most annoying sound in the world?
so that was improv, and then they sing the Mockingbird. This is so many iconic things in this movie.
So, like, I've seen some of these. I guess they didn't make me laugh there in the movie. I don't know if they made me laugh like the first time I saw them, but I've seen clips of this movie before, and I'm like, it's like memes. Like they
Right.
just make things like ridiculous, but I don't know. I didn't laugh at that scene where he was like, like, you want to hear the most annoying sound? Yeah.
And then we landed on the moon. That was improvised by Jim Carrey. Yeah. Anyways, also one of the fun facts was that if Mary and Lloyd would have gotten married, her name would have been Merry Christmas, which is interesting. I don't know if that was on purpose or if that was. Anyways.
Okay.
So what would you guys give the plot? And John, explain your reasoning.
I'll go
Okay.
first because John's gonna bash it.
Okay.
I like the setup for this.
Uh-huh.
I think it's a great comedic setup because I mean, as I've said, that's all a movie needs is like a setup for it, but it's still pretty basic. It's more of the journey than the actual plot,
It was very cliche.
which is fine. It's a 3. It's average. It's not super like what's the word I'm looking for? New.
Extraordinary.
Well,
over
it's
the
not
top.
new. It's not fresh. It's obviously a buddy comedy, but it's still done really well. But it's still like one of those things. Like, okay, you've done this before. It's fine. It's a 3. You're not there for the plot. Let's be honest.
It's true.
Except for the headlight plot.
Okay.
Who else was disappointed
So-
about? Those were headlights.
Oh.
Sorry, another fun fact. So
As a
that's
kid,
Lauren.
I thought that's what they looked like.
Did you?
No.
He's talking about boobies.
Yep. So that's
Why
Lauren
don't yours
Holly.
light up?
John, do you want to sign off on Lauren Holly?
What?
The
Yeah, you're a resident. You're a resident who's hot. Yeah.
I didn't think she was that attractive. I found the other girl, like the police officer, like the undercover police officer, more attractive than her.
Yeah, I can see that. So Lauren Holly and Jim
Those
Carrey
are
actually got
skis?
married after this
Both
movie.
of them?
Ugh.
Yeah, yeah. But they only lasted about a year, and then they got divorced. But, anyways,
I didn't know.
Don't
I did
skin?
not find her that attractive. I don't know if she's like supposed to be famous. I don't know. Did you guys find her attractive?
I mean, she's pretty, but I mean, like, no. I mean,
Justin,
not-
he just wish he could have saw boobs.
I don't objectify women, so I'm not going to.
fair enough.
All right.
Like,
So the plot for me,
yeah,
yeah, I found it very basic, found it very cliche. It seemed like it was just like supposed to be like it was almost like a James Bond like type of plot, but it was super simple. Where like someone gets kidnapped, the kidnappers are supposed to get a ransom, and they didn't get the ransom, and these guys like took it,
yeah.
and like of course they were like you knew they were gonna spend the money once they found out that there was money in there. Like it was
Right.
very predictable. Like the whole entire plot was very predictable. So I'm gonna give it. Justin like said it was average. I'm gonna say it was like a little bit below average. I'm gonna say it was like a 2.
Ooh, that's harsh.
Like, and here's the reason is because like I understand that there was like funny parts like within the plot, but I'm not judging it off of how funny it was. I'm judging it off of like the story behind it, and the story behind it was very bland.
Okay.
Here's a good example of a really good comedy plot. What's that movie? I can't. For some reason, I can't remember off the top of my head the name.
Just
It's-
describe the plot.
You know, they wake up in Vegas and they gotta find their friend.
Hangover.
Hangover. I don't know why I can't
Yeah.
remember that. That to me is like original and that would be a 5 out of 5 plot. Like that's a really interesting new situation for me. You know, so that's how I would grade comedy plots.
That would be so crazy if you just got so drunk that you lost a person
See, that's
the day
isn't
of
that a great premise? Like automatically, no
on
matter
the day
what,
of their wedding.
Yeah.
no matter what, you're like, oh wow, how'd they lose their friend? What happened?
Yeah, and they work backwards, and it's pretty genius. I would say the plot is average, yes, but I would give it a 4, and the reason I would give it a 4 is because
You
I
would.
think the way they tell the story, I think is really cool. Like I think the fact that they say like they never quite like at first you don't know what the ransom that it's a briefcase for ransom, and then you meet the guy who's in charge of it. But they never really tell you that they just show him talking to the bad guys. Like they don't say, "Oh, this is all part of my plan." Like, I think it was well written and well, like choreographed.
Executed.
Yeah, executed in a certain way that made it more enjoyable. That's my thoughts.
So you're saying that they took a basic concept and they made it entertaining.
Yeah, I mean, did they even say like that it was her husband that was kidnapped until the very end?
No.
I don't remember.
No,
Yeah.
well, they said a name,
Yeah,
but I assumed it was like her brother.
right, exactly. I think that the way they wrote
I
the
see there was a
story-
little twist.
Yeah, it just they didn't like spell it out for you. They like gave you little information as it went.
All
And
right,
I think.
all right, Chris. Hey, you convinced me. I'm gonna change it to a 3.
Oh, okay.
You convinced me. All right.
Nice.
I forgot about that little twist at the end.
Yeah. Okay. Cool. Yeah. Okay. So
I feel like you shouldn't be able to do that, but all right.
next is main characters. Let's just stick with just Lloyd and Harry.
This is definitely a 5 out of 5. These guys are classic.
Yeah.
I
Man,
love the straight man and the stupid person.
Yeah.
When in reality, you know, Harry is just essentially a really easily manipulative idiot, and Lloyd is just an idiot.
Yeah. Lloyd's definitely the dumber of the Dumb and Dumber, but Harry's definitely dumb, and I think he's the best part of this movie, which is why I think I enjoy this movie so much because it's not Jim Carrey that really shines to me. It's Harry.
Oh yeah, I love Harry in this movie. It's so
Yeah.
great. Especially my favorite scene is when he asks. besides the shitting scene, he's really asking the girl about the skis.
Skis, huh?
That's right.
Great. They yours?
Uh-huh.
Both of them?
Yeah.
Cool.
Skis.
Those your
That's a nice
skis?
pair- That's a nice pair of Hooters. Him getting his tongue stuck to the pole.
Hi there! Say, kids, you wouldn't happen to have a cup of warm water, would you?
And then obviously
He
the
caught his
clothes.
shoe on fire when he was talking to that girl.
Thank you.
Sure. You know, I'm heading up to Aspen myself. Maybe we could, meet up, have some hot chocolate or something.
Sure, why not? You seem harmless. I'm gonna give you my number. Let me find the.
Great.
Oh, no.
Let's see.
No, I have one in here somewhere.
Look, why don't you just tell it to me? I got a really good memory.
Well, the number's 555-905. Wait a minute, that's my old number. That is so weird how your mind just goes blank.
For God's sakes, just give me the damn number!
Okay, look, you gonna get pushy? Forget about it.
And his eyes are crossed.
Yeah.
He's so good.
And the fact that he actually gets mad at Lloyd for his stupidity, but then he does something stupid again and he thinks he fixed it. Like with the bike.
I was about to say, my favorite line that he did was when he was like,
You know, Lloyd, just when I think you couldn't possibly be any dumber, you go and do something like this. And totally redeem yourself!
5 out of 5.
trading the bike for the car.
van for the-
This
That
baby
is
gets
pretty-
70 miles to the gallon.
That's pretty good. That's pretty
And
good.
then he stands up and he's stuck to him because he peed on him. All right, John,
Oh,
what would
that's
you give
warm.
Okay. Hear me out.
Oh
Okay,
no.
I gave it a 3.
Oh.
This is
Okay.
why. This is why. At certain points, they both really annoyed me,
it? Uh-huh.
and it was because they were super over the top, and I'm not all about like just super over the top type of things. Like that's why I didn't like The Mask, and I felt like it was less from Jim Carrey and more from
Harry.
from Harry. Just about like the ridiculous things. I'm not saying I didn't like the characters. The characters were funny. I laughed at some of the things that they did. But there wasn't anything. Again, like this, the annoyingness kind of outweighed like the times that, in my opinion, that they shined. So the parts that they annoyed me was, I don't know. They kept doing like stupid things, and like I understand that they're
Dumb
dumb.
and dumber.
Like I understand they're dumb. Like I know that concept, but I knew that going into the movie, and I didn't think that I was gonna like it because of that reason, and I was right. I tried to go in with an open mind. It didn't work.
Fine. Something
So
else too.
I
about-
gave it a 3.
Jim Carrey had actually chipped his tooth like 4 or 5 years before this, and he was wearing a cap over it, so they just took it out for this movie. That's why
He
had a chipped
actually
tooth.
looks like that. What?
Yeah. He has a cap on permanent. I think it's a permanent cap, but they had him remove it so that he could have a chip.
Whoa.
Genius. And it's funny because they did the same thing happened to Hangover. Ed Helms had lost a tooth, and he had a cap put in. They took it out for the movie because he loses a tooth in the movie. Anyways.
That's
okay.
crazy. Okay.
Yeah. All right. Next one. Minor characters. I would have given it a 5 if y'all care.
No, just no reason. Just give it a 5. It's fine.
Yep. Yeah. Incredible.
So
actors.
minor
Incredible
characters would just be, I guess, everyone else.
Yeah. The girl. The thugs.
The kidnapper.
Yeah. The kidnapper. The thugs. Yeah. The police officer.
The girl was definitely a side character
Dude,
in
that
this.
scene cracked me up. Where he's just like,
Tic-tac, sir?
Get the hell out of here!
Voluntarily spazzing out. It's so great. What do y'all think of minor characters?
I love every reaction, especially before they meet him, because like the cops think there's some like super, smart people. The thugs think they're these agents, and when he finally figures it out, he's like, oh, but he still dies from them.
Right.
It's so great, but it's still kind of like I didn't have anybody who I thought was like super cool.
You didn't like Seabass?
Huh? You mean Cam Neely?
Cam Neely.
You're Cam Neely, I'm sorry.
The most prophetic, most noticeable athlete of all time, Cam Neely.
But honestly,
they should have made the last song or the last dance after him.
That would have been so hockey players are boring.
He made them put an ice rink in while he was shooting this, like they did with Jordan in Space Jam.
Yeah.
All right.
It's like I need to shoot my pucks. Eh?
Also his hat said wine 'em, dine 'em, 69 'em. So I don't know if y'all noticed that, but I thought that was pretty funny.
Oh, I never noticed that.
Chris, hey, this wasn't even one of your fun facts. The most famous athlete in the world.
I don't know how you do it, man.
Okay.
But anyways, I felt like the side characters were a little bit
bland.
Not bland, just there.
Mm-hmm.
I thought they were good foil to Harry and Lloyd. Oh, I don't know what to give it. I don't just feel like it's a 3.
They helped move the story along. They did.
I don't feel like it's a 3, but I don't feel like it's a 4. Can I do 3.5?
No.
No, we don't do that.
Okay.
Even if I lose half a point for it, it's fine.
Justin, it's okay. I think we gave each other the same point.
I'm gonna go 3 just because I wish there was somebody who stood out to me.
Sure. Okay. You said 3 too?
Yeah, I gave it a 3 too. I mean, the only funny part that I laughed at when it came to the side characters was 2 things, and it was that bathroom scene, and he didn't really say much. He just like stood there.
Right.
And the cop scene.
Uh-huh.
And everything else that I laughed at was just like the main characters. So, yeah, no. I felt like the main character should have made me laugh more and less annoyed, and I feel like the minor characters should have made me laugh more.
I'm gonna keep bringing this up, but there wasn't a stepdad in this, so that's good.
Hey boy, hey champ.
But actually, didn't I get a 4 for the
Yeah, I
the
think you
minor
did.
characters?
Because you liked the reception, and you liked a couple of random ones. The judge. You liked the judge.
Yeah.
I would have given this a 4 only because I think I like the idea that they think that these two are like masterminds.
That's the
like
funniest part of it.
like the gas man, and he's like, "How does he know I have gas?" So
How does he know he's been following me for weeks?
Yeah, and then he kills the bird. He's like, "We killed their bird, so they killed one of ours." That I thought made it a little bit better than most. So I would have given it a 4, but I get it. All right.
Okay. Hey, there was a scene that I laughed at when it came to the main characters. It was the scene how they were talking about the bird's head falling off.
Gets worse, Lloyd. My parakeet Petey. He's dead. Oh man, I'm sorry, Harry. What happened? His head fell off. His head fell off? Yeah, he was pretty old.
Oh, that's it. I've had it with this dump. We got no food. We got no jobs. Our pets' heads are falling off.
Oh man. Also,
I forgot about the old lady and how she stole the beer.
Let me tell you something. The first 15 minutes of this movie set this up so much.
Yeah.
There's so many funny parts.
Hey, I guess they're right. Senior citizens, although slow and dangerous behind the wheel, can still serve a purpose.
I'll be right back. Don't you go dying on me.
This is 5 out of 5.
Absolutely, it's 5 out of 5.
Jeff Daniels for me, and when you see a lot of his other stuff, I've seen some of the Newsroom, but like The Martian, he's in it. I think he's in 101 Dalmatians as well. I think
he is.
Yeah, he plays the dad.
He plays
in
the
that.
dad,
He has an incredible scene in Steve Jobs where they're fighting because he plays Sully in the Steve Jobs movie. It's incredible.
I like Jeff Daniels as an actor, you know, because of this movie, and he has a great range. You know, we know Jim Carrey can do with that, but the way he does,
Jim Carrey can do Jim Carrey.
Yeah.
But you know, Harry in this movie, as we've said, is the best part, and he just goes above and beyond. Man, I hope he gets residuals for this or something.
I think he probably does.
I bet Jim Carrey definitely. I hope Jim Carrey knows that without Jeff Daniels, and I'm sure they're. I think they're really good friends too.
They are.
That
yeah.
The
fact that he did a sequel, I think, shows that they are actually like he probably respects what he did, and the money probably was just part of it.
I wonder how much he made in the sequel.
Yeah, I don't know.
I'll look it up real quick. Even though that movie is.
Even like the little things, like the scene when he pees in the bottles and they're handing it to the cop and he spills it on Harry, and Harry just looks like so pissed off. It's just so great. I don't know. It's really funny. Anyways, so acting, what would you say, John?
I struggle with this a lot. So I thought about it, and I'm trying to look at it like biased, unbiased, because I didn't like the movie, but when it came to the acting, it was really good.
Yes.
The acting was really good. They did a really good job acting dumb and acting ridiculous. Like, they did a lot of unbelievable things in this movie, in my opinion, but you felt like that it was actually like if these people were alive in real life, they would be doing this kind of stuff. So
right.
I definitely gave it a 5. Like, they did a really good job. I didn't like some of the things that they were doing in the movie, but I can't knock of.
There was no bad acting in it.
Yeah, I can't knock that it was bad. I would argue it was bad writing that did that. It wasn't like the acting part that suffered. So no, they both did a really good job. I have nothing bad to say about the acting.
Awesome.
The main two characters, the other guys, I don't know.
Yeah,
they were just there.
Yeah. Next, does it hold up?
Oh, easily. I think this is. I can't find his new salary for Dumb and Dumber 2, but I'm sure he got paid plenty for this one, for that one. I think this is one of those. I don't know if it's a top 10 for me. I really need to go and see what my top 10 comedies are. Really look at that, but this is easily top 20. You know, I think not just mine. I think ever.
Yeah.
This is. It
didn't
Jim
make
Carrey.
top 100 comedies.
It didn't. It should have. That list sucks. Then
I'll tell you, Liar Liar did.
Dumb and Dumber should have. This is.
I'm looking it up. I bet it did.
This is Jim Carrey's for me. Even though Ace Ventura for me was like the one where I discovered him. I think for most people, like for the big populace, I feel like this was his coming out party, like his real coming out one, where people are like, oh, like he's a guy, you know.
He is a guy.
So he is a guy. he's a comedy guy, you know. Does those comedy things.
He's the man. He's the man.
Yep.
You know, and I think I laugh all the time to this movie, so I was really excited when that sequel came up, and I just don't want to talk about that anymore.
Okay. Go, Chris. That's fine.
You go, John.
So, there was a lot of jokes in here that I got. Like, there was nothing in there that was just kind of so outdated. I did laugh at it, so I would say it's a 4. And the only reason I'm not giving it a 5 is because that there were certain things that. Okay, hey, the reason I'm giving it a 4 is because Dumb and Dumber 2 came out and it didn't do good. So
but okay,
but it's the same comedy. Like, so like if you're trying to say would this kind of comedy movie hold up today? Well, the second one came out and it was the exact same type of comedy and it didn't do so well.
I completely disagree with that. I think the dumb comedy works, but Dumb and Dumber 2 was now Jim Carrey and Jeff Daniels they liked the script.
They did great. I mean, honestly, they were funny in it. the script just wasn't as good as it.
They didn't. I don't think it was necessarily the humor, type of humor. I think it was what the jokes that were written in. I think they were trying to grab. This is why Carrey barely does sequels. You know, he's done one sequel up until then for a movie, and that was When Nature Calls, which arguably was funnier to some people. So a lot of people are like, okay, this is gonna be good because Carrey won't do a funny sequel, a non-funny sequel to his characters.
Right.
You know, and it was really disappointing. I agree it wasn't as funny. I don't agree that type of comedy doesn't work because you see it everywhere.
So, okay, what comedy would you say... See, I would compare this a lot to, like, an Austin Powers type of movie. I felt like the comedy is... I felt like the comedy is very similar. Where
I think it's completely different.
You have, like, a goofy type of character, and the goofy character does goofy things, and that's what makes it funny.
I think Austin Powers is a little different.
What movie would you compare to this movie that's like a really good movie that came out recently? This is if you can name one and it was like a decent movie and I'm like, I laughed at that. I'll give you a 5.
How far back? Because Anchorman, I think, is this kind of humor.
Yeah, I would agree. Austin Powers is not. Austin Powers is like sexual innuendo parody humor. It's a little different.
I guess
that's a sex comedy.
I guess Anchorman would be it, right?
Yeah.
Or is that outrageous comedy?
Yeah. Change your score.
It's evolved.
That was Will Ferrell, though.
Comedy evolves.
Anything Will Ferrell's in is
John, I agree with you that comedy evolves, and I think it's different. But I do think this holds up because it's very hard to write a dumb comedy. And I think Dumb and Dumber 2 really...
I'll give you a 5.
Really exemplifies that.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Damn it. I was like, there's not any comedy that I've seen recently that compares to this. No, Anchorman is one of them, yeah.
Because damn it. Even look at Anchorman 2. They tried to use that same form of comedy. It just doesn't click unless it's smart. And they got
Will Ferrell. They got Will Ferrell, and that's why it works.
And I think you have to have. It doesn't work twice because you've already been to that concept.
I like Anchorman too. I don't know what you're talking about.
Well, I didn't mind Anchorman too. I think the expectation's too high for these classics when they get remade into or sequelized. I think there's just too much pressure on it to be as good as the original, and they never are.
Anchorman 2 had its moments.
I didn't mind Dumb and Dumber 2, honestly. I mean, it wasn't nearly as good, but it wasn't bad. I laughed. There was parts I laughed at. I know, Justin, you got freaked out by the catheter scene at the beginning.
Oh my gosh, that
probably set it off for you.
Okay.
Anyways,
so
that brings back bad memories.
It does. So we said acting is a 5, and does it hold up as a 5?
Yeah.
So would we watch Anchorman 2?
Dumb and Dumber
would we
2.
watch Dumb and Dumber 2?
If you hadn't known what it was, that was the rule.
If I never saw it before, I would definitely. I was excited for that movie, so it'd be a 5. I think we saw it together.
I think we did. Yeah.
Yeah, I wasn't with you.
You weren't allowed.
I would give it a 2.
Oh my god!
I really don't want to see another one of these. Okay. I'm telling you, like some of these categories, I can look at it with the unbiased eyes. But this is, do I want to continue watching? And the answer is no.
Fair enough. That's fine. Okay, and then last one is I guess humor. I mean, we gotta do category 7 as humor, right?
Yeah, this is definitely a 5 out of 5 for me. The jokes in this are hilarious.
I agree.
This is so great.
Okay.
We've already said plenty of lines.
You've been laughing a lot, John.
Here's my argument. So there was a lot of jokes in this. A lot of jokes. And it was just like kind of bombarding in your face sometimes. And a lot of them I didn't laugh at, but I would say 30% of them I did.
Wow.
Okay.
30% of the jokes definitely wasn't half. It was definitely below half.
Okay.
John, you're the no fun person on this podcast now.
I'm gonna give
You're
it.
turning into me.
No, it's.
Did you fall asleep?
No, I didn't fall asleep. No. Oh. Hey, I will tell you this though. I had to pause the movie like 3 times because it was too much for me.
Really?
Yeah. No,
So
I had to
sad.
pause the movie.
You were laughing so
and
hard.
like.
That's what you mean.
I was
That's what you mean,
dying
right?
laughing. I was crying.
I think it's 5 worthy.
had to go to the restroom, clean up my face. No, okay. I had to pause the movie because, in my opinion, it was like so dumb at some points that I'm like, I can't take this. I have to take a break.
Yeah.
And 3 times it happened.
So what are you gonna give it?
I told you, I laughed at 30% of the jokes, and the 30% that I laughed at were funny. Like I thought they were good.
Yeah, you laughed out loud. Like even recounting it in the podcast, you were laughing really hard. Yeah.
Yeah. So I'm gonna give you higher than probably what you think, because I didn't laugh at.
We'll give you a
half of
2.
I didn't laugh at half of the jokes,
Right.
but the jokes that I did laugh at were good. So I'm gonna give it a 3.
Okay.
So I'm gonna give it above half.
John is the party pooper.
No,
in
hey,
this
above
series.
half would be 4. So I'm gonna give it a 4.
Okay.
Because 3 would be half, right?
That way.
Yeah, technically 3 is the middle. Yeah.
Yeah. So I'm gonna give you above half. I'm gonna give you a 4.
Okay.
Because the 30% of the jokes I laughed at were funny, but I didn't. The rest of it annoyed me.
In the intro, your name is now John. I don't have a sense of humor. Now you go.
Oh yeah. Okay.
I would
I
give
loved
it
it
5.
30%. That's your new intro.
I would give it a full. I was giggling the entire time watching this again. And I've seen
You
it
were
so-
little girl.
giggling. Jesus.
Like a little girl.
I was watching it with my brother. And I was
Jesus.
just like, hee hee hee. Every single thing was hilarious to me.
Well, okay. Hey, what did she think of it?
She loves it. Every normal person loves this movie.
She for real. Carmen
Yeah.
loves this movie.
Yes.
So we're going to ask her.
She doesn't like it as much as I do. Like, she doesn't like want to watch it a lot, but she was like laughing the whole time, and she said, "I forgot how good this was."
We're not going to get the well.
No, she'll tell you. I'm gonna text her right now and tell her to tell you. we text them and tell them.
I want to hear it. I don't want to see no text messages.
Okay. All right. So
This could be
I
faked.
cannot believe. I
We're-
mean, I understand that people love this movie. Like, I'm not
Yeah.
dumb. Like, I see why people love this movie, but it's just not my cup of tea.
okay, that's fine. I don't get it, but it's fine. It's
I
weird
don't
to me.
get what you guys don't like Dragon Ball Z, but I don't dwell on that.
It's just weird to me that there's things that we both find very funny, and yet you don't find this funny. It's just odd to me, but it's fine. If I would have saw it now, I'm
like,
not-
okay,
I would've
so
liked it.
I find Anchorman hilarious.
Right.
Which is why we don't get it.
But okay, I feel like this is, in my opinion, some of the jokes didn't land with me.
I mean,
Like,
it's also.
just didn't laugh.
I think John is trying to tank you because he wants to win.
I'm not.
I mean,
I boosted up two
so
of them
defensive.
to
You
did.
fives.
You did.
He's so defensive.
If I was trying to win, I would have just kept them at the points that I kept
It's
them
called
at.
point shaving.
Okay. All right. So we have we have a final round. We have one more where all 3 of us get one more movie or TV show, and
What are we
Last
at right
episodes ever.
now? What are
so
we
we
at right now?
we have. I like this season because of the virus and everything getting canceled. We've really just done what we want instead of like doing things that are coming out, like remakes and stuff.
Yeah.
I've really enjoyed it. So right now, John, you are in 3rd place with 146.
Son of a bitch.
We're all really close. It's really anyone's game. So you're at 146.5. Justin,
But we
you're in.
weren't giving 0.5s.
No. Like if it averages where you give me a 4 and Justin gives me a 5, I do 4.5. I just don't want y'all individually to do
I get you.
0.5s.
Okay.
Okay, Justin, you're in 2nd place with 148.5. So 2 difference between you two, and I'm at 152. So we're all really close. Anyone's game. Anyone's game.
That doesn't sound close.
Yeah, you're only 5.5 below me. That's pretty good.
That's a whole category.
Well, don't choose such shitty movies.
So what Dragon Ball Z are
That's
watching
a
next
whole
week?
category below you.
Hey, it only takes,
A whole category.
It only takes you to hate something that I pick next, which I don't know what I'm picking next, to
John, what are you picking next?
Oh God.
You're supposed to come here with that.
We didn't talk about it before.
We did not.
You're not so.
I forgot to
Just
tell you
throwing
that.
things at me. We are going to watch. God, I need something good to
This
give me
is heavily
points.
edited, by the way.
Because the thing I wanted to watch next is not going to give me points.
We've been here for
But
like
I
20
really
minutes.
wanted you guys to watch it. Just hold on. Hold on 1 second.
Okay.
See?
Friends Season 2.
Fine. Friends season 2.
We're going to watch Friends Season 2.
Okay.
This was about 30 minutes later. John has to pull out his trump card.
His big guns to try to win the season. I like
It's coming to HBO Max. I guess it's kind of...
It's kind of relevant. It's kind of relevant, yeah.
Yeah.
HBO's Max is pretty soon,
They're
right?
coming out with their new reunion show or whatever.
That's right. Yeah, sure.
At some
All
point.
right. Watch Friends season 2.
Yeah. It's gonna be great.
Fun fact: I hate Friends season 2. It's my least favorite Friends season. I'm just kidding. I don't remember Friends season 2.
I was about to say, tell me one episode in Friends Season 2.
That
you
one
remember.
where they... You get it? That one where they get it?
The one where they Get
it?
I think
Get it?
I think the prom video episode is actually this one, which I really enjoy. So you'll probably get some good points from me on
I
it.
can't wait for Fat Monica. That's what I'm waiting for.
I think that's it.
That
for the prom
Monica
video.
is in Season 2.
Perfect.
Yeah. Yeah.
Fat Monica's hilarious.
All right, John, you want to take us home?
Yeah. Okay. So you can find us on social media, Another Man's Pod on Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook. You can also email us at anothermanspod@gmail.com. If you want to tell us anything, give us any criticism. Don't give us criticism on our actual platforms.
You
that
can
we
criticize
stream
him on Twitch if he ever streams.
You can find us on Twitch at Another Man's at Another Man's
I think I've
Nostalgia.
streamed more than you
You
now.
can also find us on Patreon.
Justin,
So we
how's your
do-
Patreon thing going?
do
You
have
can't make fun of
Patreon?
John and not make fun of you. So how's the Patreon?
What Patreon
going?
thing?
The editing you're supposed to do for that game you
Oh,
play.
I'm waiting for more storage.
Okay.
That's an excuse.
It's taken like 2 weeks. I have to get another SSD.
I'll tell you guys right now, I don't have an excuse for not streaming on Twitch. I've had plenty of time.
You just didn't do it.
I just didn't do it.
Be on the lookout for Tomb Raider at some point.
Yeah.
I've had
I
plenty
talk
of
a lot
time some
about her
days that
butt.
I just didn't do it.
I spent
All
about
right.
20 minutes just staring at Lara Croft's butt, so...
Okay. So, ew, Justin.
It's just
I
silence.
just
of him
realized what
staring.
you just said.
Oh,
All right.
man.
Go back and watch Friends Season 1, the episode of Friends Season 1. I don't know what episode that is. But
It was season 2, episode 20.
John brought
Season
his
2,
friend's
episode 20,
book
there you
that
go.
day.
and hopefully you guys enjoyed that episode.
Yeah, John,
that's about it.
Promise that next week you'll have your book with you at your desk.
Oh,
When we
I forgot
watch-
about that.
when we
I
watch
know I need
Friends.
to. You're right.
Okay.
You're right.
All right.
It's
All right.
If
Well,
you
cool.
guys don't know what that book is, you need to watch our YouTube channel. We're on YouTube, by the way.
Yeah.
And you can find us anywhere that you can stream a podcast as well. That's how you're listening to us right now. But tell your friends that you can find us anywhere.
Yep. All right. Well, we'll see you next week with Friends Season 2.
Peace.